Well, everybody, I hope you really like Battle Royale games because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. We've got the two kings right now, PUBG and Fortnite, unarguably some of the most popular games in the world at the moment. Fortnite in particular has skyrocketed to a level that most games can only dream of. Pretty much everyone talking about it, to the point there are news stories coming out talking about how Fortnite is destroying the youth.
This is a new game called Fortnite is drawing millions of players, and some parents are worrying their kids are spending way too much time at the controls.
Amy Selling says her kids are so caught up in the game, she sometimes won't see them for hours after school.
When it gets to that point, you know it's become pretty successful. And these two games are the most popular at the moment, and PUBG was kind of the trendsetter. There were games before it, the Arma mod, H1Z1, the Culling, and I think there were a few others there as well, but PUBG is the one that kind of brought Battle Royale to the attention of the masses, and that is actually what birthed the spin-off of Fortnite, originally a tower defense construction zombie survival game, into biggest game in the world, period. It's a pretty crazy thing, and this is all within a relatively short period of time. No one ever thought that Fortnite would become bigger than PUBG, but here we are. Could something else go beyond that? It's possible. Now, if you were to ask me, I don't think that anything is going to surpass Fortnite in particular, but PUBG, I think, could be having some issues coming forward in the future. So let's talk about the Battle Royale games that we know of right now. There's a bunch that are already playable, or going to be playable sometime soon. So we got the Darwin Project, Hunt Showdown, Radical Heights, Islands of the Nine, Europa, SOS, and Paladins Battlegrounds. And each of these are kind of taking the Battle Royale formula and putting their own little spin and twist on it. While these games seem interesting, and I like a few of them, specifically Hunt Showdown I really enjoyed, Darwin Project seems interesting enough, and I'm keeping my eye on Paladins Battlegrounds. They're all doing their own unique thing, but I'm not sure that anything on this list at the moment could really take down any of the big Battle Royale games right now. But coming up, and some of the rumors we've heard have the potential. So we've heard rumors of things like CSGO, Call of Duty, and even Red Dead Redemption. Any of those games could do very well. But also very recently, a game that I've thought about would be great was Battlefield. Now this is all coming from a VentureBeat article that was posted up last week. EA Dice Studio is testing a Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 5 that features similar gameplay to mega hits like Fortnite and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, according to someone with knowledge of the studio who asked to remain anonymous. Later in the article, they say that the studio has not yet approved its Battle Royale for release, and it is still in the prototype phase. If DICE does decide that it's happy with what it has, it won't have it ready in time for the initial release, but if the mode gets the green light, it'll probably be added in at a later point. So this year, fall of 2018, another Battlefield and another Call of Duty, either or both of those games get a Battle Royale mode. I think PUBG could be in a really tough spot. PUBG, I've loved that game. I've played it for hundreds, maybe well over 1,000 hours at this point, but it is still really janky, and it still lacks the polish that you tend to see of AAA studios. Now, not everyone loves AAA shooters, and you can argue that there's plenty of problems with every game that comes out, but the one thing that these big budget games tend to have is the budget to make the game look and sound great. Smooth gameplay, animations, great sounds, great feedback, and all of that stuff. And that's something which, again, as great as PUBG is, I think it's severely lacking. And hell, that's part of the reason, outside of the building, which is another big part, but the polish and the smoothness of gameplay and how snappy the animations are and how responsive and fluid the game is, that's a big part of the reason why Fortnite took off as much as it did, because the other big alternative, PUBG, whenever I play the game, I feel like I'm walking through molasses. I mean, there's this sluggishness that's constantly there with the game. We're talking about it like it's a washed up has-been, but the game is still massively successful with tons of users, and mind you, it's a game that you have to pay for, whereas Fortnite is free. So they got plenty of money, but even with all that money, there's still something there that doesn't feel quite as crisp as a lot of these big budget shooters. And that's why I think that if this Battlefield rumor does turn out to be true, or Call of Duty, or Red Dead Redemption, any one of those have the potential to kind of push PUBG to the side and be that number 2 game. I think it's easy for people to fall into this mindset of, you look at a similar situation with like League of Legends and Dota. Those are these two massive MOBAs, and a bunch of other MOBAs tried to come in and take their place, but none of them really did it. And I think it's easy to look at that formula and say, look, there can only be 2 big games games at any point, and no one else is gonna step into the space. But just because that's what happened with that genre doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen with this genre. While right now it might be PUBG and Fortnite, that doesn't mean that it's always going to be PUBG and Fortnite. And again, I don't think Fortnite's going anywhere because it's reached this level that it's kind of gonna be really hard to ever take over. But PUBG, I'm sorry guys, I've played your game a lot, I've really loved it, but if Call of Duty or Battlefield put out a good, polished, great feeling battle royale, it's gonna be pretty interesting. 2018, big year for battle royale games. We already know about almost 10 of them. There's a bunch of rumors for others coming out. Get this, E3 hasn't even happened yet, and you can bet your ass that we are gonna be hearing about a bunch of new battle royale games come E3. So wait a couple months and there'll be more games added to this list. You can guarantee it. So what do you guys think? The next big battle royale, what is it gonna be? Do you think PUBG is the one that's gonna fall by the wayside? That's it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Beyond like the games that we know about or that we've heard rumors of, there's a bunch of games that are coming out in the future that I would love to see Battle Royale added to. First off, there's The Division 2. The first Division had the survival mode added to it, but it really wasn't that great. There was definitely a lot of key elements missing that would make it an interesting Battle Royale game. I think Ghost Recon would also be a great world for a Battle Royale game, or hell, Halo, that gets brought up a lot. And besides these shooters, I think Battle Royale could extend into different other types of games like hack and slash action RPGs. Imagine if we got a Diablo battle royale. There's a bunch of different stuff that could happen. I really personally love the mode, and whether or not there are games that are released as individual games or just multiplayer modes put into games, I think battle royale is a fun genre. I'm more than happy to keep an eye out and see what we're going to be getting in the future. E3 is coming up, so whether you like it or not, there's going to be a bunch more battle royale games announced pretty soon.